8:28 a.m. Let me take this time to welcome you to Sunrise here on Tobago Updates Television. I am your host, Lavian Cupid, and indeed it is a pleasure to be seated here before you. Today is a Monday, the 9th of February, 2026, and right before I came on screen, we saw a beautiful aerial view of the port of Scarborough. I think it was the APT James that left earlier this morning, heading to Trinidad. It's a whole other topic by itself that we are definitely going to get to. If you're viewing us via our social media handles, Flow, AMPLIA, or Digicel, I want to thank you so much for choosing us, and thank you so much for making us a number one. Have you been keeping up with current affairs over the weekend? Well, I mean, from since last Thursday, we had Chief Secretary Fali Augustine with a press briefing, and then on Friday, we had festivals commissioned, and over the weekend, we had a lot happening. Of course, it was Calypso over the weekend as well. We also have some finalists from right here on the island. Our very own powerhouses heading to the March Gras. So a lot happening on the island, a lot happening in Trinidad and Tobago as a wider entity. And with that, I'm going to take you right into the morning brief, where we keep you updated with all things current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago as a wider entity, regionally and internationally. So kickstarting hot this morning, speaking at a United National Congress media conference on government business. Let me say that again for you. Speaking at a United National Congress media conference on government business, Minister in the Ministry of Works, Jillian John, said the island's proposed inter-island regional ferry, I don't know if you call that ferry service, that's from Grenada to Tobago, and the Forensic Science Center remain unfinished or under review. Two projects which were prominently featured in government announcements under the previous People's National Movement administration. As to the terminal building of the A&R Robinson International Airport, John said, as works such as the paving of the runway continues at this very moment. However, she added that she intended on visiting the island at the end of the month, but the project should be handed over to the airport's authority. So if you recall, last year, the sitting UNC administration said that the terminal should be ready by the second quarter. So that's by the end of June, second quarter of this year. So we look forward to that. Last Thursday, Chief Secretary Fali Augustine announced the procurement of a 67-meter barge, which began operations last Friday to augment the shortfall on the inter-island sea bridge. Augustine said the barge will carry goods over 7,000 kgs, including livestock, bulk, and dangerous goods. The vessel will be utilized for a period of 10 days. Meanwhile, the Buku Reef is expected to be back on the trail from today, as advised by NIDCO. The chief said NIDCO has also advised that the damaged Blue Wave Harmony will be seaworthy, and added 2 operations by this week, Wednesday, February 11th, 2026. That is some good news there. I don't know if persons have been to the supermarkets recently. I myself was there yesterday at a supermarket right here in Scarborough. So no second-hand account, what I saw for my very self. What is missing is a lot of variety. For instance, that very popular rice, I can't remember the brand, it has an orange logo on it. Most people buy the larger sizes. One day I had to take 2 smaller sizes. So variety is one thing you're not seeing. Creamery milk, I know, is a very popular brand. That was totally gone, so you had to take either go with dairy or Kerrygold or whatever, some other or moo milk or whatever. You had to take another alternative. So yes, the shelves are bare, but I think what is mostly missing is variety. I would have seen some persons on social media talking about specific brands that they look for. Of course, brands are important as well. We are talking about even if we look at things like baby formula, there are some baby formulas that the babies must have those. You can't switch, and if you switch, we're talking about problems, and medical problems with infants that can't speak to tell you exactly where the pain is. That's a different headache by itself. So it's an issue that mounts, and of course we are looking forward to relief. So we have that badge helping out, and then from today we have the Buku Reef back on, and hopefully on Wednesday the Blue Wave Harmony is going to be hitting the seas and getting that working. So we look forward to that right here on the island. All right, and in some carnival news, the Tobago Unified Calypsonians organization, that is TUCO, has released the finalists advancing to the National Calypso Monarch Competition 2026 following the semi-final round held on Saturday, 7th of February at the Skinner Park. Amongst the names are 3 Tobagonian female powerhouses: Nicole Thomas Clark singing Sacrifice, Giselle Fraser goes by the sobriquet Gigi in No Village Can, and Rosalind Reed Hayes singing Calypso Calling Me. Congratulations to all the ladies that are heading to the march ground. Of course, to the Tobagonians that are going to be heading down, shout and wave and dance and prance to all of us. And for all of us that are going to be uniting on the live stream, gonna pop some corn and take that in, yeah? All right, and so taking a look at news nationally, that story that is going nowhere anytime soon. The widow, I'm not sure if they are married, but the widow of Joshua Samaru has challenged the police account of the operation that led to his death, insisting he was unarmed and never fired at officers. In a statement to investigators, Kia Seeley said the incident began during a brief stop in Maloney, where the police approached their vehicle with a gun drawn after Samaru had a very short conversation with a man. This prompted Samaru to flee in fear. Seeley said their car later stopped after losing control, and Samaru raised his hands in compliance before police opened the fire. As CCTV footage later released appeared to show her account, showing Samaru with his hands raised as officers discharged at least 25 shots. Seeley was seriously injured in the shooting and continues to receive medical treatment. She disputes police claims of a shootout and says her husband never possessed a firearm. We also saw recently the Minister for Homeland Security, Roger Alexander. He said he has qualms with the PCA, that's the Police Complaints Authority, investigating police officers. He said that he is of the opinion that police officers should be the ones investigating police officers. He made reference to if a doctor has to be investigated, the medical board does that. Teachers as well investigate teachers, and lawyers are investigated by law association. So he said, why aren't police officers being investigated by police officers? What are your thoughts on that as general public? To me, it's apples and oranges. It's not the same yardstick. But you can leave your comments in the comment section and let us know here on Tobago Update Television. What do you think? Do you think that police officers should take lead in investigating their comrades? All right, we're going to take a look regionally. Venezuelan opposition leader Juan Pablo Guinapa was released after more than 8 months in detention, announcing his freedom in a social media video and signaling he will remain politically active. A close ally of Marina Corina Machado, Guinapa was arrested in May 2025 on accusations of involvement in an alleged terrorist plot to disrupt legislative elections, claims his family and supporters denounced as politically motivated. His release is part of a broader wave of prisoner liberations amid international pressure and ongoing debate in the National Assembly over a proposed amnesty law for political detainees. Human rights groups confirmed he was among at least 18 prisoners freed on Sunday, as opposition figures renewed calls for the release of all those they consider unjustly detained. Right, so keeping our eyes on Venezuela. And finally, giving you some news internationally and wrapping up. But this news is based in Japan. So I just want to let you know that Japan, I think, is like about 13 to 15 hours ahead of us. So Japanese stocks surged to a record high on Monday. Yes, I know it's Monday and it's a very early Monday, but they are way past midday Monday as Prime Minister Sane Takashi from the Liberal Democratic Party, LDP, basked in a historic election victory. It's elections all over the world. The LDP secured 316 out of 465 seats in Sunday's election. The first time a single party has won a 2/3 lower house majority since Japan's parliament was established in its current form in 1947. The Japan Innovation Party, the LDP's coalition party, won in 36 more constituencies, taking their combined total to 352 seats. The resounding mandate is a gamble that paid off for Takashi, who now faces the challenge of reviving Japan's moribund economy and tackling cost of living woes. Cost of living woes worldwide, but not only that, keeping our eyes on the elections. We know that Barbados heads to the poll on the 11th, so that's this Wednesday. They head to the polls. Elections call a little earlier. Keeping our eyes on Barbados, recently Prime Minister Mia Mottley made some allegations against the opposition party over there about their yellow is the code, and she made allegations wondering if they were being funded by some other political party in the Caribbean. Minister in the office of the Prime Minister, Barry Padarat, he answered some questions on that, and he said that the United National Congress, if that is the party that she was referring to, has no interference in any elections in any islands in the region, and they're not funding any. He said that the yellow is the code songs and all of that is very catchy, and a lot of political parties within the region use those very same colors, red and yellow, and so the United National Congress has nothing to do with any political party. But we saw what happened in St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, who am I missing, in Jamaica. So who else had the election? I think Guyana would have been before. So we're keeping our eyes on Barbados, but many are saying, Mia Mottley, she is a force to reckon with. She's very much loved, but not only loved, but well respected internationally. I think she's probably one of the only or one of those standout leaders in the Caribbean who has been recognized and respected. Her words, her stance on all points, on any political point, on any socio-economic point, is respected world around. So keep our eyes on Barbados and see what happens this Wednesday. Of course, Tobago Updates Television, Sunrise, we would be keeping you updated with the morning brief on that. So that's it. That's a wrap for your morning brief this morning here on Sunrise, where we keep you updated with all things current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago is a wider entity, regionally and internationally. This week we have so many different conversations from the Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association sending out their release. We're going to go in a bit on that, take a look also at what's happening with the Sea Bridge, but also Tobago Festivals Commission and their media briefing last week, Friday, on what National Carnival in Tobago is going to be looking like moving forward. But also we're going to be having conversations surrounding sedition. Yeah, I don't know if you are aware, but last week a lady in Trinidad was charged with sedition, and sedition is where a person who used their words or actions to incite violence or some sort of revolution against a sitting government. And so it was surrounding her social media posts where she would have indicated that the Venezuelan government should target Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessa's home. I know there was another lady that she was held under the SOE for such remarks as well, but now we have this lady being charged under sedition, and so we're gonna go into that conversation this week as well on what exactly is sedition? What can I say or do that unknowingly to me it is sedition, and I could be charged? And even take a look at our social media behaviors and sometimes things that we overlook. As simple as resharing a post. When you reshare a post, you actually claim those words in that post as yours. So there's so much that we're going to be looking into this week. A lot of active and very necessary conversations that we're going to be having. Of course, we're going to be having experts on those conversations to talk us through those, give us the information that we need. We're going to take a quick break right here at this juncture, and we're going to be right back with so much more. As always, I want to thank you so much for choosing Sunrise and choosing Tobago Updates Television to wake you up and making us your number one choice. Indeed, it is always a pleasure to be seated here before you. And as we take this break, I want you to do me two favors. One, I want you to share the live, and two, enjoy the aerial view that my technical crew is always working on so assiduously in the background for you. Kudos goes out to Aaron and the guys this morning. So share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be back.
Coming up, fets, pan, parades, soca. Yes, Carnival is in full swing. Artists from all over added their strokes to Antigua and Barbuda's canvas. A boost for these Barbadian projects through the power to make a difference. Equal servings of culture and good cheer. It's Caribbean Passport TV right here on this station.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Tobago, it's Carnival. Dubai, the event space formerly known as Shade, for the court Tobago, says, let's celebrate Carnival. Bring your coolers every Friday and Saturday, starting from Friday the 30th of January till Carnival week, and pay $50 at the door with your cooler all night. No ice, no chaser allowed. Top DJ and artists passing through every Friday and Saturday. To pre-book your cabanas, call 369-6414 and 394-3612 or email iwamg@gmail.com. And this promotion is going on until Easter. Gates open at 9 p.m. It's rum, it's bacchanal. Bring your coolers and come.
Been down this road before. All that left is rum and bacchanal. This is Carnival.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Springs. Contact 49SWIFT 4979438.
host. Thank you so much for staying with us, and welcome back to Sunrise here on Tobago Updates Television. Even as we move forward, I want to send our condolences to the parents and the students, the parents of Michael Okubosa and the students there at Scarborough Secondary School on his unfortunate and untimely passing. Of course, the entire island is mourning with them. It's always so unfortunate to see a young and bright light being taken away so abruptly and so suddenly. All right, so condolences from all of us here at Tobago Updates Television going out to them. Staying on news of the Inter-Island Sea Bridge, the Tobago Tourism and Hotel Association sent out a media release last week on their stance on the Sea Bridge, where they said for decades unreliable air and sea transport has functioned as an embargo, as an economic and social embargo on Tobago, constraining livelihoods, suppressing tourism growth, and denying Tobagonians the certainty and connectivity they deserve within their own nation. The association is calling on the central government and the newly installed Tobago House of Assembly, saying that now is the time, with two new mandates, one in central government, meaning a new government there and a new government here in Tobago, with two new mandates. Now is the perfect opportunity to finally remedy that situation, the air and sea bridge situation. The release went on to thank the Honorable Minister in Works, Julian John, for the badge in the interim, but says that that is not it. They went on to say that the quick fix is not it, but a permanent, long-standing solutions is what the association is calling for. Of course, they are speaking out against the fallouts that the hoteliers here on the island face, of course, cancellations and so on, and persons not booking because they know what is happening with the sea bridge. But with the Buku Reef set to be back on today, and on Wednesday we have the Blue Wave Harmony back on. Finally, we hope to see some relief. But I mean, even with that, the Tobago Hotel Association is saying that there are cracks, and it's been long standing. They said it is not something that happens sporadically, but rather they believe that it's systemic. Yeah, systemic was actually the word used in their release. They said that it's systemic and it needs to be fixed once and for all. And they call in on the central government and the newly installed Tobago People's Party administration fix the issue. So we look forward, of course. They also spoke to Tobago wanting autonomy, or looking forward to autonomy, and they're saying if we are looking to autonomy, we need to see about that sea bridge issue and that air bridge issue. It cannot always be for decades ongoing. So that is what happened with the sea bridge, with it from the Tobago Hotel Association, Tourism and Hotel Association. But then besides that, on last Friday, we had Tobago Festivals Commission and a newly appointed secretary, that's Assembly member Zorisha Hackett, hosting a press conference on Tobago's trajectory moving forward with National Carnival and what it's going to look like. At least the information that we receive now, they are saying that this 2026 National Carnival Juve celebrations is going to be held in the east and in the southwest. So that's Roxborough and Crown Point. Roxborough and Crown Point. Nothing in Scarborough. I've been seeing some buzz on social media, persons saying Scarborough was the hub of Juve and it should have some reviving happening there. But what Secretary Hackett did say is that, listen, once it is proclaimed, once National Carnival is proclaimed, all stakeholders, anybody could do something in Scarborough, but the Tobago House of Assembly will be focusing in the east, which is Roxborough, and southwest, which is Crown Point. And as it goes on with Juve, there's also going to be Collar Hall on Tuesday, and the Tobago House of Assembly will be supporting that as well. They said that there's going to be a push for traditional mass. I did hear the secretary said that she's expecting quality to come from the mass bands. Quality, because the Tobago House of Assembly does provide the support. So don't want to see the quality depleted after we would have come from Tobago October Carnival, which I know we're trying to remove the word October because it could fall into November. So I guess Tobago's Carnival. So from that quality, and so she wants to see that continuity into the National Carnival. We're going to have Kiddies Carnival celebrations because, as she said, as she rightfully said, National Carnival is going to serve as an incubator for Tobago Carnival. And so that where we talk about knowledge transfer and just the cultural experience, so that's where we're going to focus on the children, because we know children are the future and everything, and so that continuity moves on there. I paid attention to even I think he's cultural officer too, that's Elvis Rajman. He said something quite interesting, speaking on Tobago's participation in National Carnival. He said for 100 years, and I know he was joking, but he said for 100 years, Tobago has sought to just peddle money into National Carnival, hoping that it will get better. But he said Carnival is a business. You can't do it like that. And once Trinidad is having Carnival, let's take it as it is. We cannot compete. So that's it for the Tobago Festivals Commission and what they had to say about Tobago's participation in National Carnival. That's it for Sunrise here this morning, guys. But as promised, with those very interesting conversations that we have lined up for you later on this week, from speaking on sedition charges and even speaking to the Hotel Association. We also have that on for you tomorrow. That's the Tourism and Hotel Association. But you know, when the viewing here on Sunrise is over, that is not it. We head on over to the morning show with the lovely Vanessa this morning, who is going to be taking you through the morning show. Vanessa, good morning. I see you were matchy in black this morning.
Indeed. I think you got the memo this morning.
I got the memo. I checked my email on time and I got the memo. How are you this morning? How did you take in the Calypso Fiesta over the weekend?
I actually did not. I took that time to rest.
Well, I know you had a very hectic week last week, so that is understandable. I took it in intermittently, sporadically throughout the day, trying to get a little glimpse. But our ladies certainly did great, and I want to wish them all the best moving forward. I want to wish you a great show and a great day, and of course, I'll see you later on in the week, and definitely see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
All right, viewers, so that's it for Sunrise here on Tobago Updates Television. Remember, we head on over to the morning show, and then we have Good Morning Tobago with the lovely Chanel Felix. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we have all those conversations that I told you about. I want to wish you a lovely day. See you tomorrow.
Who said the elderly can't have fun too? We're talking good food, proper music, lots of games, and a day at the beach they will never forget. From the time we left the compound at Heavenly Care Home for the Elderly, the vibe was already established. Wheels up and seatbelts on. Watch now, when we touched down in Pigeon Point, everybody was ready for excitement. But before anything could take place, we had to secure our bellies. You ever play bingo by the beachside? Well, that was the first activity on the roster, and boy did these seniors have fun. However, others wanted something more physical, so we brought out the ring toss, and not even arthritis could have stopped them. Well, I was blown away at how straight these people were. Are you sure this is a home for the elderly? Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday, but nothing beats the song of Good Steel Pan by the shores while we take a dip in Tobago's finest water. Wait, more food again? This is my type of event. The energy was amazing and nothing short of a blessing. Pick up Heavenly Care Home for the Elderly, because joy doesn't retire, laughter doesn't age, and memories like these last forever.
To a stranger. Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and the service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships. It's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. Today is Monday, the 9th of February 2026. I'm your host, Akinlabi Holder. It's good to be here for another work week. I hope that you're up and you're ready to go. You have the children ready and you're ready to tackle this week with all the energy. All that energy just before Carnival. It's a week before Carnival. You should be full of energy and ready to go and to tackle that work that you have on your desk in the office. I'm joined in studio by the lovely Vanessa Ortiz, Tobago's very own Beyonce. Good morning, Vanessa.
Okay, love me know. Good morning to all viewers. It's good to be in studio this morning. I know I left you hanging on Friday.
You know what, Vanessa? That's quite fine that you left me hanging on Friday, because I know that you were so tired from your performance on Thursday night, and you're going viral. You're going viral with your dance piece and your song. It's good to see you, Vanessa.
Thank you, Akinlabi.
All right, viewers, we have a lot in store for you all, a lot of interesting conversations. We're going to circle a couple of things around Carnival, have those very important conversations to keep you safe during the Carnival season. But before we get into any of that, we head on over to our news in 90 seconds.
And here's what's making news in 90 seconds for February 9th, 2026. Speaking at a United National Congress media conference on government business, Minister in the Ministry of Works, Jolene John, the island's proposed Inter-Island Regional Ferry and Forensic Science Center remain unfinished or under review. Two projects which were prominently featured in government announcements under the previous People's National Movement administration. As to the terminal building of the A&R Robinson International Airport, John said work such as paving of the runway continues at this moment. However, she added that she intended on visiting the island at the end of the month, where the project should be handed over to the airport's authority. Up next, last Thursday, Chief Secretary Fali Augustine announced the procurement of a 67-meter barge, which began operations last Friday to augment the shortfall on the Inter-Island Sea Bridge. Augustine said the barge will carry goods over 7,000 kgs, including livestock, bulk, and dangerous goods. The vessel will be utilized for a period of 10 days. Meanwhile, the Buku Reef is expected to be back on the trail today, as advised by NIDCO. The chief said NIDCO has also advised that the damaged Blue Wave Harmony will be seaworthy and added to operations by Wednesday, February 11th, 2026. And finally, in some national carnival action, the Tobago Unified Calypsonians organization has released the finalists advancing to the National Calypso Monarch Competition 2026 following the semi-final round held on Saturday, 7 February at Skinner Park. Amongst the names are 3 Tobagonian female powerhouses: Nicole Thomas Clark singing Sacrifice, Giselle Fraser, No Village Can, and Rosalind Reed Hayes, Calypso Calling Me. Congratulations to all. These are the stories in our major newscast at 6:30 p.m. Be viewing Tobago Updates Television, and that was your news in 90 seconds.
Thank you very much, Vanessa, for that news in 90 seconds. And we see quite a number of persons, Vanessa, qualifying for that Calypso finals. 3 persons. I think Tobago is very, very pleased with the work of our Calypsonians at Skinner Park over the weekend.
Yes, over the years we have been seeing that our Tobago talent has been shining on the national stage, and we just want to continue encouraging and congratulating them as they continue to take those steps forward.
I know that we've been pretty strong in the national competitions over the years, but this seems as though it's one of our strongest years.
Yes, I agree.
Really excelling. I think that the culture in Tobago, it's very strong, it's very vibrant, and even in our junior competitions we've been doing very well. So the passing on of the culture as well, it's taking place and it's taking root within the younger generation, and it's a very good thing to see.
Yeah, because we've seen it from Panorama to the Calypso competitions, and as you said, junior and seniors as well, they are all putting their foot into it, they're putting the work into it to showcase and ensure that Tobago has a chance on the national stage.
And we also see, we talk about Pan and Calypso, but we also see that even our soca artists, they're growing in the maturity and the quality that they're bringing out, and every year that they're building upon what they've been doing. So we really see that carnival ecosystem growing and developing in Tobago, and it's a really, really good sight to see. All right, viewers, it's that time of the morning to celebrate with those who are celebrating, whatever they're celebrating, the birthdays, anniversaries. It is time for our birthday shout-outs. Yes, viewers, on Tobago Updates, we like to celebrate with everyone, no matter what they're celebrating. And we start off by saying happy birthday to Miss Betsy Gift. Happy birthday to you, Miss Gift. God's richest blessings on your special day. We know that you are going to be a blessing to everyone around you. We hope that family and friends, they shower you and pamper you today with all the good gifts that you can possibly get, and you take some time off to reflect on God's goodness in your life and all that He's done for you, and keep Him at the forefront of everything moving forward.
Up next, we have Giselle Garcia. Happy birthday from the Tobago Updates family. You look very splendid in your white. We hope that today is as rich and as fulfilling as you want it to be, and that God's richest blessings continue to flow in your life throughout this new year.
We also say happy birthday to Mr. Ricardo Sears, the saxophone maestro in Tobago, well-known saxophonist in Tobago. Happy birthday to you, good sir. We know you've spent many years bringing joy to persons with your instrument, and we pray that you have some joy today. We pray that persons serenade you today, and you're showing all sorts of goodness today. Your family, your friends, your loved ones, whoever they are, they treat you like a king today, sir. Today is your day. Happy birthday.
And last but certainly not least, we have Tyreek Bedlow. Happy birthday to you. I hope that your day is filled with smiles as on the picture here, and that this new year going forward, you achieve all the goals you set your heart to, and that your family cherishes and gives you all the gifts that you would like on your special day today.
All right, viewers, whatever you're celebrating, we like to celebrate with you here at Tobago Updates, whether it is a birthday, anniversary, graduation, you know the drill. Whatever you're celebrating, send us your information, and Tobago, Trinidad, the region, and the wider world, they will celebrate with you as well right here on Tobago Updates. So, Vanessa, who do we have on the program this morning?
This morning we're talking with the TTPS ASP Mahalia Bacchus, and we're talking about carnival safety tips and crime updates on the island. That's a two-part segment. And right after that we have Reginald McLean, President, Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association, and the topic is calls for end to social and economic embargo on Tobago. We're talking about the sea bridge here.
All right, you see we have a bit of carnival. We have a 2-segment part of carnival discussions, and then we're going to talk about that ever-looming situation with the Sea Bridge issues, challenges that we're currently having. Viewers, we want to thank you for staying with us, whether it's on our Facebook Live or YouTube channel, 102 on AMPLIA, 121 or 130 on Flow, or 33 on Digicel. Whether you're in Tobago, Trinidad, the Caribbean, or the wider world, we want to thank you for logging on and making Tobago Updates Tobago's #1 television station. But we ask you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back after these messages.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Tobago, the sun is rising, and so are the conversations that matter, from the economy to education, from healthcare to community voices. No spin, no fluff, just facts, truth, and clarity. Join me, Lavian, as we cover the issues that shape our lives, the stories we can't ignore. We bring them to the table and ask the questions you want answered.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and the service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships, it's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Guys, there are some new developments in housing in Tobago, so it's goat racing time. This is 116, the show that keeps you in the know with all things Tobago House of Assembly. Each week, 116 delivers a fun and engaging overview of the latest developments, achievements, activities, and events of our dynamic assembly. So join me. Let's dive into the Tobago House of Assembly's Week in Review right here on 116.
Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show, and we have in studio with us of the TTPS ASP Mahalia Bacchus, and she's here to give us those weekly crime updates, as well as speak to us about their carnival safety tips and their Operation Festive Shield that has been ongoing for the carnival season. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Good morning to Tobago and the listening public. Happy to be here.
So, ASP, just tell us, give us an update on the crime situation on the island thus far.
All right. So, well, I'm happy to report that last week we were able to remove a firearm from the street, and we have someone charged for that firearm as well. Every time we take a firearm from the street, we save many, many lives, because that person had 7 rounds of ammunition in that firearm. So that could have been 7 persons who are not alive for today, you know, but the quick action of the police officer who would have arrested him led to his arrest, and the person is before the court for that firearm. So I am very happy to report that. You know, we still have the challenge of persons breaking into places, homes and businesses in Tobago. Right? So we were able to arrest some persons for those break-ins as well. We had a larceny over just before the weekend, over Friday or Saturday around there, and I'm pleased to report by Sunday the person was arrested. The money that was stolen from the individual was retrieved. They took someone's passport as well and some other items that were in their bag. We had some very good work being done by officers of the CID, led by Corporal Foster Bernard, and the officers were able to arrest that person and retrieve the items that were taken. You know, so we still, there are officers also arrest, there are persons who are also arrested for other breakings, and they are going to appear before the court within today or tomorrow for those offenses. So, you know, we still encourage persons to secure your premises and ensure that your place is, or your home is your castle. They know that you have you put all precautions, take all precautions to ensure that no one could get into your premises so easily. Right, but the police are doing their work, and I'm pleased to report that we have been doing well thus far in the space and solving a lot of crimes in the Tobago space.
ASP, we're talking about break-ins here, and I'm just curious to find out, in your arrest, the arrest that you'll make of these perpetrators, are their motives due to greed, or is it desperation because of their economic situation? What is really driving a lot of these break-ins?
I think what we see, at least from my analysis in Tobago, we have a high rate of recidivism in terms of people who are repeat offenders of crimes. And one of the things we monitor is the persons who are released from prison. And sometimes we have a lull, and then we have things picked up back, and that's because some of the persons who are on the outside would have returned from prison and went right back to do the same thing. So it tells us that the item of rehabilitation is not there in terms of the consequences and when persons are punished for their actions, right? Because you go into a space and you come back out doing the same thing means nothing has changed. Nothing has changed in terms of rehabilitation for the individual, and it also tells you that the circumstances for the person may not have changed as well too.
Okay, and in terms of rehabilitation, is there anything that is going to happen going forward, or are there any things that are put in place currently, or initiatives that have started being put in place for these persons? Because if there's a realization that some of these individuals, when they come back out, they go right back into these specific situations, what is done here in Tobago for those individuals?
So you see that one is out of the remit of the TTPS a bit, because when you leave our hands and you get into the justice system, after you're placed into remand or so, you get into the prison system. So that is that realm is where they have to look at that and what programs they are doing or what is available to create that change. Because, you know, as I said, it's a behavioral change. And if it is that even if I try with you and you come back out and your circumstances remain the same, you don't have a house to go to, you have no fixed place of abode, you have no income and so forth, some of the persons are tempted to go back and you know, repeat the same things from before.
So we know that break-ins is a problem, and the TTPS has been encouraging persons over the months and years to really secure their place, their properties properly. Could you just revise some of the steps persons can take to secure their premises?
Yes, we encourage people, as particularly CCTV cameras, because technology now is what is the biggest thing in terms of assisting in solving some of those crimes. So we are asking you to put in the CCTV cameras, and we always ask that you share one with law enforcement, meaning the strategic position in which you place the camera can help us to further solve the crime for you if one does occur. And it may not be you, it could be your neighbor, right? So based on you placing the camera where you could pick up if somebody is passing on the roadway empty-handed and then returning with items in their hand, could tell you they probably didn't come from your house, but your camera could probably help us to solve the crime that occurred next door or a little further up the street, or the vehicle that passed by that was used to commit the crime, right? So we encourage persons to use the technology. We also ask that you look at the locks, the type of locks that you use, because some persons still have locks that a person could take a knife and easily move away the lock and get into your premises. We still have persons taking it for granted that you could leave a window open, because you say you secure the place, but you did not lock all your windows, you didn't lock all the doors. So you have to look at that as well too. So we talk about more locks, we talk about more lights around the premises, because the devil don't like the bright light. The devil likes darkness. You know, so when somebody is about to commit wrong, they will think twice if your place is well lit. There are some persons who take off all the lights before they go and sleep, right? And then you don't have the type of camera to facilitate the darkness. So you have the camera up but all your lights off, and then something happens and we can't see anything based on that. So, you know, we're asking more locks, more lights, and we're still asking that we look out for each other as neighbors, look out for each other. That is still important.
Now, in the carnival season, we're transitioning a bit from the crime updates into Operation Festive Shield. Now, for the Tobagonians who are in the Scarborough area over the past week, I'm sure there were some individuals who saw the crashed vehicle with the mannequin on the floor and the police uniforms on the broomsticks. And I'm sure when they saw it at first, they were wondering what accident took place here in the middle of Scarborough. It's right outside of the port, opposite KFC, right in front of Waterfront Pharmacy. Can you tell us what was the aim of this particular scenario that you placed for the public to see?
Okay, so Operation Festive Shield has been extended from the Christmas period into the Carnival period. And just as it says, it's a shield. And our main idea is in terms of protecting the members of the public, especially within the times where we know we're having a good time for Christmas and now for Carnival. Because we know Carnival is a time where persons are having fun. They want to wine, you want to enjoy the parties, we're drinking. You know, we're having a good time, and some people throw caution to the wind. So the theme for Festive Shield is securing the vibes. And here in Tobago, we came up with several initiatives, and we have our theme going with those initiatives. So the display that you spoke about, we were looking at beyond the moment. That is what we were trying to highlight to persons. And just as you remember the display, that is what we wanted. When you see that, without words, it said a million things. Nobody had to tell you something. We weren't there speaking to anyone, but persons were able to look at that image and say to themselves, something happened here. And then you saw the sign saying, this could be you. Don't drink and drive. Because there was a body on the ground. If you took time out to look at the display, you'll see there were bottles, the beer bottles. There was even a punching bottle on the ground as well too. So, you know, all of it sent a message to persons that we're asking you that we know you want to have a good time, but let us all be responsible in what we do. When you drink, have your designated driver. And one of the things that we also have with Festive Shield is where after some of the events, we are having voluntary breath testing. So it gives you the opportunity to check your breath level before you leave. If you're over 35 micrograms, then you're in for a charge. If you're found driving, anything over that amount. The strange thing is that your body and my body is different. So you may drink that, what you call it, 420, rude boy, and you blow and you come up with 29, and I could drink it, and then when I blow I am 45, and that is because our body reacts differently to different things.
So I saw in some of the pictures there that you all were in schools.
Yes.
Just speak to us a little bit about the school initiative.
All right. So one of the ideas that we came up with as a team in the Tobago space as well, that we went into two of our main secondary schools. We went to Goodwood High, and we also went to Pentecostal Light and Life. And the idea behind this was to bring some information and education to the students. We particularly spoke with the 4 5s, and where we had 6 formers, we also dealt with them. And the idea was to give them the information pertaining to the effects of alcohol and drug use. Because we know that the kids are not totally covered from things like this. The exposure is there, and you would find that there are means and ways how they can get to them. So we want them to understand what can happen to you. And particularly we spoke about those edibles that are popular amongst the young people, for them to understand what could happen to you, because we were able to speak to real life experiences where we met persons who participated in those things, ate the cookies or ate a piece of cake, and the reaction was not nice. Persons ended up in the hospital because of the consumption of these items. And one of the things we explained to the children is that it goes more directly to your bloodstream when you consume it, because you're eating it, right? It goes into your stomach. It's like eating food, and it goes out to where it's supposed to go. And that is what we're trying to show them, that the things that can happen to you, right? You could lose consciousness. You may not know yourself, and it could lead to things such as rape. You could even be trafficked, right? Having consumed some of these items. We also spoke about at length the marijuana issue, because you know it's a popular thing in our society in terms of decriminalization and legalization and so forth, and how it can affect them as young persons, right? Even being in a home where the law says you can have 4 trees, but it's 4 trees per adult. A child cannot have a tree. So your parent can't grow 4 trees for you, right? And 2 adults having 12 plants in a house, you're in excess of the amount of trees which could take you before the court.
How does the TTPS coordinate with event promoters and emergency services and other agencies during the carnival period to ensure safety?
All right, so we liaise with those persons because they are our stakeholders, and particularly when we devise our divisional orders, we have a VOC center, right? And within the VOC center, we work closely with persons such as TEMA, also the ambulance services and all these, because we take into consideration if something has to happen, you must know where your emergency routes are and where all these places are positioned. So we integrate ourselves into these bodies, and we ensure that we all liaise and we have the correct information that we can pass on to the public, and to let them know how they can be safe even though these activities are happening.
So you've told us a lot of information concerning Festive Shield. But just tell us, what has the reception been like from the various stakeholder bodies and different various publics that have reached out to do this initiative?
Thus far, we have had a great reception from members of the public. When they look at what we are doing, they are pleased that we are reaching out to persons on the outside, the young persons, the general public. That display in Scarborough, the amount of comments we got about it, they were really amazed, and it really touched some persons and brought some form of awareness. So we were happy to know that what we did was really impactful, and that somebody at least received the message that we were trying to send. You know, and I hope that the members of the public are cooperative and understand when we do these things is to continue to educate us and to keep us aware of what are the things that are happening around us. Because some people are not concerned when it doesn't happen to them. The accident is not my brother, it's not my sister, it's not, you know. So some people are not bothered by it. But when it reaches home is when we are bothered by what is happening around us.
All right, Inspector, we want to thank you very much for coming in. And if you have any other message you'd like to give to the public before we go.
So I'm saying too, we are fast approaching the carnival period, and we still have the glass bottle ban in effect. So I want persons to understand that it has been working. We have been doing it for the past few carnivals, and it has been working. So we want persons to cooperate with the police when we ask you not to come with the glass bottles, and particularly people who are operating the bars, because it becomes a problem sometimes. They pretend that we didn't know. Because when you look, you see persons coming out with the bottles in their hand and not a glass. So we're asking that the bar owners, that you cooperate with us and ensure that you don't use the glass bottles for the carnival. When you see the officers on the outside and they're giving you directions in terms of traffic, please cooperate, right? Because, you know, based on the route for the carnival, we have to divert the traffic, and some people are upset. There are band passes and so forth that you can apply for. They're asking that persons apply for your passes so that it will not become a problem when you get to a barrier, that the officer could see that you have a pass and allow you to go. But don't try to get through. You don't have a pass and you have enough time to get your pass. We're also saying to the same bar, the persons who want to operate bars and so on, apply for your license for the day. All we're asking is that people do the right thing. Right? When we do the right thing, we have better results, positive results, and it makes the work easier on us, the police officers.
And if persons want to apply for these passes, where do they go?
We have some online applications that can be done. You could go to the TTPS page, ttps.gov.tt, and you will see there different spaces there that you could get into and apply for the passes as well too. And we have our administrative building up at Young Street, high up where the ADB bank is. You could go there, and the officers up at the ACP office, you can have a conversation with them if you're not too online savvy and so on, and they will guide you as to what you have to do.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes, we want to thank you so much this morning for coming on and sharing about the initiative Festive Shield, and also just giving us crime updates and the tips and tricks that we need to adhere to during the carnival season for road safety as well as the safety of our loved ones and those around us.
No problem. I was happy to be here as well too. Have a safe carnival to the general public of Tobago and to you all as well.
Thank you very much.
I don't know if you're playing mass or the Juve. I might see you guys.
You wouldn't be seeing me.
You would not be there.
You would.
You know, there was one thing I forgot to mention. We have a lot of camps as well, campers in Tobago.
Very important.
So yeah, we are asking the campers as well, you know, wherever you're setting up your camp, make sure that it's somewhere safe. You don't want to go to the edge of the riverbank, because you don't want the rain coming down and next you know the river swells and your whole tent is swept away and so on. Please let the officers know in the district that you're in where you are camping. because that is important. Some people want to go all the way in some deep bushes and so on, and the police may not know that you are there. And we want to also do part of our festive shield activity is to visit those camps on the outside, right? So we're asking the campers to please inform the officers where you're camping so that we could at least know the numbers, how many of you are there, and the composition of the team that is there in your camp. And I'm also reminding parents not to leave your children at home alone. That's another important point we didn't discuss. But for Carnival, everybody wants to have a good time, and they leave the kids by themselves, nothing to eat, and they tell themselves, I could run, jump the juve and come back, within a particular time. So do not leave your children at home alone. If you have to, ensure that there's an adult there that can take care of the child until you return.
I like that you brought that up. And I know we're supposed to end the interview, but we're having some very interesting conversations here now. At what age can a parent leave? Because sometimes people say, well, the child 15, the child 16, I can leave them home. They're responsible enough. Is there a particular age at which the law allows you to leave a child home alone?
A child is specifically because from 18 years, under 18, you're a child. It's only from 18 up you're considered as an adult. So anything under, but we sometimes you look at a 17-year-old being responsible and could take care of the child until you return. But I'm saying as well, it is important that you have an adult, because some 17-year-olds behave like if they're 10 or 12. And they can't make a sandwich, they can't do certain things, to assist this child. So the safest thing to do is to ensure that there is an adult present that could properly help to take care of this child.
All right, well, thank you very much, ASP Mahalia Bacchus, for having these very important conversations with us concerning our crime updates on the island of Tobago, as well as Carnival safety tips on Operation Festive Shield. And viewers, we have to go for a short break, and when we come back, we continue our conversations. So do us a favor. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back after these messages.
You come in. Long time I see you. This station complete. Ready for children party. Mommy! Jay, you can't go nowhere with these children. And you know you can't depend on Kevin neither Steven to see about them. Yes, total waste. So I supposed to stay home whole time? Jada is 12. She could see about that. You just leave Jada to see about Kia and Kayla. I thought it was your mother or your sister. Who? Them always busy. Jada could handle that. She cooking and cleaning a long time. And the next two better know what time it is. It's only me, I will talk to my mother. She just home these days. She will make sure the children okay. Alright. Let me see the moves for later.
Before you ramage, make sure the children okay. Call 996 to report all child abuse now. A message from the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago.
Tobago. It's Carnival. The Vibe. The event space, formerly known as Shade, for the court Tobago, said, let's celebrate Carnival. Bring your coolers every Friday and Saturday, starting from Friday the 30th of January till Carnival week, and pay $50 at the door with your cooler all night. No ice, no chaser allowed. Top DJ and artists passing through every Friday and Saturday. To pre-book your cabanas, call 369-6414 and 394-3612 or email iwamg@gmail.com. And this promotion is going on until Easter. Gates open at 9 p.m. It's rum, it's bacchanal. Bring your coolers and come.
Been down this road before. All that left is rum and bacchanal. This is Carnival.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Spring. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
Coming up, fets, pan, parades, soca. Yes, Carnival is in full swing. Artists from all over added their strokes to Antigua and Barbuda's canvas. A boost for these Barbadian projects through the power to make a difference. Equal servings of culture and good cheer. It's Caribbean Passport TV right here on this station.
The Caribbean is more than just a place. It's a spirit, resilient, vibrant, and full of possibility. It's who we are at the heart of everything we do. For over 150 years, we've been right here, invested in the Caribbean, its people, and its progress. And today, we're going even further. We're deepening our commitment to the region, continuing to invest in the networks, services, and digital solutions that move Caribbean businesses forward. Whether you are a mid-sized business or multinational player, we bring you resilient connectivity, personalized service, and tailored IT solutions, all powered by local teams that truly have your back. We're here to help you navigate challenges, grow, and achieve your goals with practical solutions, reliable networks, and a partnership rooted in trust and your long-term success. Liberty Business, rooted in the Caribbean, committed to you.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and we have our traffic report for you all this morning. As we get closer to the 8 a.m. hour, you can see the traffic getting a bit busy on the Colonel Highway. We are looking here at the Spring Garden traffic lights. Yes, that's at the NP gas station. You can see traffic moving east to west. Traffic coming off of the Orange Hill Road, heading westerly direction on the Claude Noel Highway as well. And you can see a number of cars streaming coming up easterly into Scarborough, waiting for their light to go green. It's starting to pick up quite a lot on the highway. It's still a bit free-flowing on that southern side of the Orange Hill Road heading into Scarborough, as well as on the Old Road heading towards Lambeau. Viewers, get out of your houses, get out. Get into the car, get onto the road to avoid the traffic this morning. That was your traffic report by Tobago Updates.
Viewers, next we have joining us virtually, we have Reginald McLean, President, Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association. Good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning, and hopefully all is well this morning. Thank you for having me on the program.
Now, the association has mentioned that this embargo between Trinidad and Tobago is a social and economic factor. Can you explain to the public why you chose those words so strongly in your press release?
Well, at the end of the day, I mean, this problem is a decades-long problem, and it needs to be solved once and for all. We have beautiful, spanking new airport terminal at Crown Point. This new government is in place around 9 months. We still can't seem to open that. I'm not sure if we're waiting for it to rot and fall apart before we open it. The sea transport is still a problem. I don't know why we keep renting a vessel for the cargo. We need to change that. We need to purchase, because we are throwing away money. But it comes back to one main thing. It comes back to maintenance of our vessels, our planes, everything that we have. Since COVID, we are yet to get back the 10 round-trip flights that we are still missing on the air bridge. And if a plane holds 68 people, that's 680 additional people that could travel one way to Tobago or one way back to Trinidad. So, it's a Tobago needs to be dealt with if we really want to diversify tourism and get into tourism. All the other islands of the Caribbean are having double-digit growth, and Tobago is having negative growth because we are being stifled by transport.
So, Mr. McLean, we're getting a sense of strong frustration from the pronouncements you're making. Is this the frustration of Mr. McLean himself, or is it the frustration of the members of your association as well?
We have, it's the association, it's the members of the association. We have people that have zero occupancy now because of what has happened with the Sea Bridge with Carnival. We have people that have 18%, 19%. We have people that have 55%. It's affecting everybody from the small guest houses that have 1 or 2 rooms to the guest houses with 15 and 20 rooms to the small hotels, the bigger resorts, the villas, all types of accommodation. And the trickle effect of that is it affects all your restaurants, all the ancillary services, the guys going with guides up onto the waterfalls, onto Little Tobago, the glass bottom boats. It affects everybody. So Tobago is being strangled. We've gone from a high of 94,000 international passengers a year to 18, 20,000. 2024 was 24,500. Last year, I'm not sure the exact figure yet. I'm still waiting on it. But I think it's going to be lower than 2024 because of the state of emergencies, etc. So at the end of the day, do we really want tourism in Trinidad and Tobago? Do the people of Tobago really want tourism? And I'm making that call again because we're not too sure if they want that. But when you look at the unreliable air and sea transport, that really stymied Tobago to the point of an economic and social embargo because it constrains livelihoods, it suppresses tourism growth, and denying Tobagonians all the certainty and connectivity that they deserve within their own nation of Trinidad and Tobago. So let's fix it. Let's buy a new vessel instead of renting one to do cargo, because we're spending more money than that. I guess after 2 years of rental, we should have been able to purchase our own vessel. So why are we constantly doing this? The maintenance is not happening as it should. Why are we taking the catamaran off right before Christmas to do major 5-year maintenance in the middle of the peak winter season? Why are we in January taking the second vessel off of the run for the same major maintenance? Why can't these things be shifted to September, October? Well, I wouldn't even say October because of Tobago Carnival. But why can't we shift these things to times when Tobago is not as busy? And do this type of maintenance? Why constantly allowing this to happen? It's time for it to stop. It's time for the powers that be to do their job and get Tobago back on the map when you look at other islands that are double-digit increases. So we need to fix it.
From an investor's perspective, what does the unreliability in connectivity mean for doing business here in Tobago?
If you were an investor, would you come to Tobago? It's really disheartening as to what is happening, especially when this government has made a commitment to diversify into tourism. And tourism, we have a lot of low-hanging fruits here on the island that makes it easy for Tobago to become a foreign exchange earner. But every time we make one step forward, we are getting pushed back by something else. It's time for the government, both THA and central government, to sit down and at the table together with the Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association, that is the largest private sector organization in Tobago and sit down with the Tobago Chamber and let us come up with a proper plan of the way forward for tourism. But when it is disjointed in Trinidad and disjointed in Tobago, we are not getting anywhere. And that's the reality of it. Starting to throw punches now because it's getting frustrating.
So, Mr. McLean, you raised issues with the airports, which is the air bridge, the sea bridge, as well as I believe you also raised issues with the various SOEs and stuff. So your frustration seems to be lying a lot with central government policies concerning that connectivity to Trinidad. Has the THTA reached out to the central government to have conversations with them?
We have had some conversations. We're still waiting on central government to make the commitment. We're still waiting on the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago to come and visit with us here in Tobago and really sit down with her key people to really go through what is happening here. 9 months in power, and sorry, it's not happening. And if you want tourism to really move, the Prime Minister needs to get over here and sit down with us, sit down with the THA, and let us all thrash it out and try and fix tourism and make sure it works.
The release acknowledges interim measures taken by the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure. Why does the association believe these measures fall short in terms of bridging the gap for Tobagonians?
Okay, so if you look at the Sea Bridge right now, for too long, you can't even book 3 months, 6 months, 8 months in advance. You could only book 3 weeks in advance, 4 weeks in advance. So if you're a tourist, or whether it be a Trinidad tourist coming here or a Tobago tourist going to Trinidad, and you want to plan a vacation, why can't we book a year in advance like the airlines do, right? Yesterday, the schedule came out till the end of February. It has one vessel on it, which is the APT James. I understand this morning that the Buko Reef became available and some stuff is coming over to Tobago. But these last minute things just can't work. Let us start scheduling things properly so that people can book. I can't get my vehicle here from the hotel over to Trinidad and get it back on the same day right now because it's not available. It's the same thing for getting people that come on the air bridge. Saturday gone, there was absolutely nothing available to get to Tobago. And Carnival, you're looking at Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, there's 0 flights available, right? So that's an embargo.
So, Mr. McLean, what are the next steps for the THTA to get the attention of the central government that you also you have been trying to get for the past few months? What is the next steps to get the attention of the central government so that you all can have these conversations so that they could understand the plight from a stakeholder's perspective?
If the central government is not willing to put tourism people onto tourism boards to deal with Tobago tourism, how are we going to make tourism in Tobago work? And that's the reality of it. You have Airports Authority, Civil Aviation, and a lot of different boards that deal with tourism, and we're not making any headway with it. It's almost like to hell with Tobago with what is going on there. And, you know, it's just not workable at this point. You talk to anybody that's in tourism in Tobago, and every single person is frustrated with what is going on. The statistics are all skewed because when passengers land in Trinidad on international flights, right, we don't know what is coming to Tobago because then they become a domestic passenger coming to the island. So the truth is, from the statistics point, there's no way of us for really understanding where Tobago stands. We know where Trinidad stands. We know Trinidad's tourism is getting better, but we have no idea at this point in time where Tobago tourism is going.
Mr. McLean, we've spoken about how the disadvantages disrupt Tobagonians' flow, especially in terms of tourism, and the many other things that we rely on here when we are relying on the connectivity. Now, in your view, what does reliable and sustainable transportation framework look like for Tobago going forward? Once the governments come together and put together a framework moving forward that works substantially for the Tobagonians, and not just Tobagonians, but for Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, the reality is that we have to fix things with the domestic air bridge. If you've ever tried to cancel a Caribbean Airlines flight, a domestic flight, it is impossible to do it online. And when you have to wait an hour and a half to 2.5 hours to get through to Caribbean Airlines to cancel, people are not prepared to do that. The cancellation fee of $50 TT is not in international standards. That needs to be looked at. And the booking system needs to be looked at, because at the end of the day, bookings can be available, but you have people that are doing double bookings and the system is not picking it up and putting out red flags that it's a double booking. So there's a lot of things there to be fixed. The Sea Bridge, we need to have a schedule 6 months to a year in advance that people can book. Because if I'm coming to Tobago in August, I would like to book now for August so I can plan my vacation. It is easier for me to go to Barbados or Grenada or Miami or New York than it is to come to Tobago. And that's been a perennial problem. I came here in tourism back in 1989, and that has been the problem since 1994 I came here, and it has not been fixed to date. Sit and meet with the people who are in the industry and let us have conversations and let us come up with the plans of how we move forward with tourism. Because at the end of the day, if tourism thrust is our diversification, we have to make sure that it is. But at the same time, do we want tourism in this country? Do we want tourism in Tobago? Because we're not sure with how it's going if we really want that.
All right, we want to thank you very much, Mr. Reginald McLean, President of the Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association, for coming on and speaking with us for what his organization deems as a social and economic embargo on the island of Tobago. Viewers, we want to thank you very much for sticking with us throughout the hour. And before we close off, we just want to give you one last traffic report. Yes, we're going to give you one last traffic report for those of you who are coming out of your houses very late. And we are here at the Wilson Road traffic light. You can see the traffic is building up going east to west and west to east along the Claude Noel Highway. We also see a lot of traffic going right back up to Immigration Department along Plymouth Road. So I might be a little too late for you, but still you have to head out to work. So get out of your door, head into your vehicle and get to work. Or if you know, taking taxi, get out the road, stick out your finger and get to work. Get to work, get to work. You might be a little bit late, but you know, it's better to reach to work at 8:15 or 8:30 than to reach to work at 9 and 9:30, and then you have to go for breakfast and eat breakfast and all kind of things. Get out your house. You get out your house right now and get to work. All right, viewers, that's all for the Tobago Updates morning show. We want to thank you for viewing with us. But the programming on Tobago Updates does not end. GMT is up next with Chanel Felix. So do us a favor. Share the live, share the live, share the live. GMT is up next.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcast. You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
This year's summit, it takes a slight difference compared to last year. Based on the persons who had came, the students who had came, we felt that we should have a section focused for the students, because the technology would start from where the innovators are. So this year we take our students, as well as we incorporate different persons within the country of Tobago, and we got exhibitors from right here on this island who are invested in innovation and agriculture and technology.
Produce Tobago is an online multi-vendor marketplace website which facilitates selling along the agricultural value chain. So if you are selling agricultural inputs like fertilizer, things, you can sell on an agro-processor. You could also sell your pepper sauces, your nuts on the website. Even if you provide agricultural services, as it says, it's agricultural technology, and I think that this is innovative in and of itself to bridge gaps in the agricultural landscape. So I felt like it was important to bring it to the people of Tobago.
I help companies, farmers, food processors, anywhere along the value chain, and AMPLIA food safety and quality management, as well as an educator, because that's where it starts. I think that it is important because it helps you not only be current and up to date, but with so many changes happening in the climate, it's important to leverage technology so that you don't be at a loss. Why not use the technology that we have available to us? Don't be afraid of it, to empower your operations so that you can be more efficient, effective, and profitable in the long run.
Well, I'm here at the summit today to learn more about agriculture and to know how far agriculture can get. So normally I might think, well, agriculture is hard work, you had to labor, but coming to the summit teach me that how, well, agriculture is getting easier.
It's indeed a pleasure to be here today at the summit. On one hand, we're here to learn and grow as well, because, you know, with education, it's a thing that you keep learning as you go on. At the same time, we're also here to provide information on the impacts of forestry and the relevant information to stakeholders who will be here today.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Today we are proud to officially classroom, a space that represents growth, opportunity, and our commitment to empowering our community through education and technology.
Today's initiative that is once again being supported by the Digital Foundation is indeed a record-breaking success. Not everybody can be able to buy a computer, and even though they buy a computer, some of them don't have internet. And there will be a space, a safe space, where they can come and do their homework and to be able to do their SBAs and to be able to ensure that they have a starting chance in life.
At Tobago, we often speak about Panyard model. A Panyard is not just where music is played, it's where discipline is learned, talent is shaped, teamwork is built, and young people is guided in a safe space and positive environment. This exactly is what Technology and Education Center represent. Just as a panyard brings young people together around steel pan, this center brings them together around technology to learn, to explore, and to prepare for the future.
I am truly thrilled to be here with you today as we celebrate the opening of another Technology in Education Center, the 4th Thai Center in Tobago. Through this program, we aim to bridge the digital divide by expanding access to technology and the internet in communities that need it most. And with the invaluable partnership of Pan Tobago, we have been able to go a step further, embedding technology within panyads.
Just to say to the young people and all the persons who will be accessing this facility, you need to show ownership of it. You need to take care of it. And I suppose that in the not too distant future, knowing Mr. Hazel and the Polish Youth Club, they're going to expand on it when they look at how many persons are accessing it.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
Good morning, Tobago, right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host, Chanel Felix. And guys, you know, whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have, but I ask those questions that you want asked. But before we get into this morning's interesting topics and conversations, let's have our news in 90 seconds. Speaking at the United National Congress Media Conference on Government Business, Minister in the Ministry of Works, Jillian John, and the indicated that the island's proposed inter-island regional ferry and the Forensic Science Center remain unfinished and under review. Two projects which were prominently featured in government announcements under the previous People's National Movement administration, as to the terminal building of the A.N.R. Robinson International Airport. John said works such as paving of the runway continue at this moment. However, she added that she intended on visiting the island at the end of the month, where the project should be handed over to the airport authority. Additionally, last Thursday, Chief Secretary Fali Augustine announced the procurement of a 67-meter barge which began operations last Friday to augment the shortfalls on the inter-island sea bridge. Augustine said the barge will carry goods over 7,000 kg, including livestock, bulk and dangerous goods. The vessel will be utilized for the period of 10 days. Meanwhile, the Buko Reef is expected to be back on trail today, as advised by NIDCO. The chief said that NIDCO has also advised that the damage to the Blue Wave Harmony will return seaworthy in just a few days, and added that its operation is carded for approximately Wednesday, the 11th of February. And finally, the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Calypsonian Organization, TUCO, has released the finalists advancing to the National Calypso Monarch Competition 2026, following the semi-final round held on Saturday, 7th February at Skinner's Park. Amongst the names are 3 Tobagonian female powerhouses: Nicole Thomas Clark singing Sacrifice, Giselle Fraser Gigi No Village Can, and finally Rosalind Reed Hayes Calypso Calling Me. Congratulations is being extended to all the finalists. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue with our conversation here, but before we do so, we have a short clip for you.
Good evening, Skinner Park. Is this the generation we want? Oh, yeah. Hey. Once upon a time when children go astray, neighbors would pull them up, teach them right from wrong. But now the same neighbors doing wrong the same way, while the youth stays and confused and keep tumbling down. Hey. Gone are the days when respect was taught, when the village used to stand up and lend support. Now everybody busy, nobody cares, so the children growing up wild in a world unfair. There's no one to nurture, to guide and protect, so the children growing up with no morals and no respect. And that's why I'm singing, no village can raise no child again. The village is in darkness, no morals, no ethics. Hey, no village can raise no child again. No, if no watch no baby, the village gone crazy. The village is in disarray, totally insane. So the village can't raise
What you just saw there was the semi-final performance from our very own Miss Giselle Fraser, also known as Gigi. And of course, we're coming to you only because we have the woman herself right here in studio with us this morning. And we'll be chatting a bit about that semi-final performance and what we can expect from you come at the finals as you represent Tobago. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm all right. It's a privilege to have you here this morning, and we saw that you really had a power-packed performance. That's how we call that, a power-packed performance. You truly did represent Tobago well. And, you know, I know a lot of persons are proud of you. Persons sit and they make their own judgments as they watch the show. And persons are saying, well, I definitely had her in my list of finalists. What has the response been thus far?
Well, it has been really encouraging. Numerous persons would have called and shared their sentiments. A lot of persons I may not have even known before, reached out to me and congratulated me based on my presentation on Saturday.
Right, but it's more powerful than just being a Tobagonian in the semi-final, advancing to the final. It's about the message in the music and what you were really trying to portray with your rendition of No Village Can. Tell us a bit about that. Were you the sole writer on this particular song? And tell us a bit about the influence behind it.
No, I have the writer of the song is Mr. Sheldon Nugget. He's from Trinidad. The idea is also his. However, when he shared the topic with me, I related with it because of my profession, right? Within the school system, we have seen numerous changes in terms of how children behave, how they respond, how they react to simple situations. So this topic resonated with me from get-go in terms of how I related with the topic, right? So the topic, the idea, everything just connected with me and I ran with it.
Right. Let's talk about the support from some of your students, because we know that you are actively within the teaching fraternity. And how does it move from just you being in the competition to the message also resonating with them?
Well, most of them haven't really heard the song directly.
well, from Saturday, numerous students would have called and said, Miss, I saw you on TV, that kind of thing. But I am hoping to use it within some sphere in the school system where I am at Signal Hill to try to motivate and encourage some children in terms of how they behave and the respect they show in terms of adults. All right, so we'll see how that goes going forward from today in terms of the application of these.
Were you expecting to advance to the finals?
Well, every Calypsonian's dream is to get to the finals. You know, with this song from the start of it, everybody would have said it's a great song. It could make the finals. So my expectations were, in that vein. But I didn't go in too overzealous thinking that I had to get a position in the finals. I just went and did my part in terms of delivery and getting my support in terms of props and things organized well.
Right. And what do you think is your strategy advancing into the finals? Is it that you plan to bring more awareness to persons of the actual song by trying to get some more airplay? What is the strategy moving into the finals, if you care to share?
Well, not really as yet, because we only came up last night. So I haven't, that thought process has not really started just yet. But of course I would like to have the song out there, go share it to different radio stations and so on to get that airplay so persons would get more familiarized with the song. So yeah, that would be the idea.
And we are now in the era of social media where you also have that level of control of distribution of your content, whereby you can extract the video from the performance and have it circulating on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and these platforms, and really get that support from persons. What we notice, in the history of Calypso and the Calypso finals, those songs that already have the traction on the radio that persons are already familiar with tend to come out in the top 3. And so when we talk about really performing and being in the finals with the big names, there's that level of distribution that is needed. Tell us a bit about how persons can genuinely support what you are doing, specifically in the finals.
Well, just as you said, the video is there. Persons are free to share, different social platforms. However they think it's positively possible to share, then yes, they can.
Excellent. What has been one of the surprises for you in this entire journey? Something that came out of this experience that you were not expecting?
Surprise. I can't say offhand in terms of actually being surprised about anything. Every competition comes with different feeling, different vibes, different everything. So is whatever you give on that day is what it's going to take. So I go in open-minded and hoping for the best in every competition, because you will not get the same thing all the time. So just pray that you have great delivery, persons receive your song well, that kind of thing. So I don't look forward to the downsides of every competition. I look forward to putting that extra into getting everything organized well.
Right. This year particularly, there has been some conversation surrounding the content of the music that's being put out. Persons have expressed feeling as though there has been a heightened sense of restriction on the content that should be put out there. In my conversation with the president for Tuco, he indicated that there's a push towards moving away from divisive type of calypso that may come across as racist or just societally dividing. With these restrictions now in place and persons being more conscious of trying to be politically correct in the calypso that they bring forward, do you think that this is, in a sense, stifling some of the creativity within the calypso sector?
Well, we know where calypso resonated from, where it's all started, right? And it's where individuals had that right to speak freely and to express themselves through the words of calypso. And as a Calypsonian, each person should feel open-minded enough to express their thought process, and that is how information was received from how persons felt. So for me, I would not say I support the direction. I am staying neutral, but I do think that Calypso is a platform whereby persons should be free to discuss or express or send a message as to how they feel about an issue, a social issue, a topic, anything or however they feel, right? But again, it's up to individuals to choose which direction they prefer to go, right? It's an issue I would really not say my personal views on, but it is what it is, and each person has to know the direction.
Understood. Well, again, we want to congratulate you for advancing into the finals.
Thank you.
We wish you all the best as you wave the flag for Tobago in the final round.
Thank you very much.
Is there anything that you want to say to our viewers looking on this morning? Before
Well, I would like to express gratitude to the persons who have been there with me from get-go. Senior Superintendent Cook. He has been there from get-go supporting, he just my support, my props, TV and company, Arlene and Avril, Allen, my background vocals, they are always with me. My family, close family and friends, I just want to say thank you, and may God continue to bless them and keep them always, right? So to Tobago, all my supporters, each person who would have called and shared their congratulations, I just want to say thank you very much, and that I appreciate the love that I'm getting from each and every one.
Excellent. Well, again, we want to thank you so much, and we want to say, again, that was definitely a power-packed performance,
Thank
and
you
we
very
look
much.
forward to it being even accelerated come finals.
Well, I'm praying for the best, and I'm wishing all the contestants a great show. Give the best, and may the best person win. Yeah.
Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard from the performer Gigi. Also, Giselle Fraser. She is in the finals with No Village Can, and we look forward to seeing No Village Can't. And we look forward to seeing that performance.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we take a quick break and we'll be back after this. See you soon.
To nurture the youths and hold them in line. Parents, teachers, elders, leaders also. Hey, with homeschool values to mold their minds. Look, all parents must guide them with open arms. Not just for shelter, but with a love that comes. Yeah, the village must rise up to the occasion. Hear what? I know we could save the next generation. Get up, together, hand in hand. Love we bear the strain. It's time for the village to rise up again, and that's why I'm singing. The village to raise the child again.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
and we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there, down in Tobago.
So guys, there are some new developments in housing in Tobago. So it's goat racing time. This is 116, the show that keeps you in the know with all things Tobago House of Assembly. Each week, 116 delivers a fun and engaging overview of the latest developments, achievements, activities, and events of our dynamic assembly. So join me. Let's dive into the Tobago House of Assembly's Week in Review right here on 116.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Spring. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show. Yeah.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Guys, this morning we continue with our conversations, and we are chatting with Mr. Ndubisi Hall, who is the coach of Above Average Fitness. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Right, so this morning we're talking about a number of activities that are happening or that would be happening pretty soon, and we're talking about the National Triathlon and the School Series Aquathlon. Tell us a bit about that.
So the National Triathlon is something that has been happening for the last 5 years here in the Tobago space. It started off as just a triathlon, above average triathlon, and I guess, the participants, most of them coming from Trinidad, and the numbers growing in Tobago, just saw a beautiful space, especially Buku, and loving the water and loving the atmosphere. And I reached out to the National Federation, asking them their thoughts on hosting a national event here in Tobago. Yeah. And they had no problem in it. So since 2001 to now, we hosting this event, and it has been growing. We started off with 40 people. Now we up to 90. And as the the triathlon itself grows, I believe that, more people will come to Tobago, because it's just a no-brainer compared to waters in Trinidad and Tobago.
Right, understood. And as you indicated, Tobago kind of has the perfect scenery and the environment needed for a good triathlon, but it's also attractive for that sport tourism aspect of it. Because when we host these events, it's not just the athletes that come, but they bring their parents, they bring their supporters, they bring their coaches, and everybody or everything else that is connected to them. And so that means that they're staying in our hotels and our guest houses. But when we talk about actually developing that area of sport on the island, triathlons, and getting more students involved, talk to us a bit about the work that has been done in that area and where we are now.
No, if I'm to be brutally honest, what I would say is a very hard task, not for sports, but for this sport specifically. Why I say that is the fact that persons look at triathlon and the first thing they think is expensive. So we have tried many different ways in which to get involved. What I would say is that we end up with athletes who are already part of other sports, so we don't ever get them full time, but we work with what we get. I have to give hats off to the clubs in Trinidad, because they donate bikes to us. I technically have about 8 bikes. I only see one because I gave them to some kids who are part of the club. So they practice with it. I am grateful for the kids that I have, because I believe in life you have to start somewhere. So right now we have 6. Yeah, 6 we have. One comes and goes, but we could say we have 6, and I'm grateful for that. At least we have a start. What we try to do now is going to the schools and do it somewhat like a pilot program, talk to the kids about it, introduce them to it, and the next step is just getting the parents to get involved in it. And once parents see, well, boy, this not really digging up in my budget too much, they'll get involved, and we have no problem helping.
Right. And I think even outside of the budget, parents want their children to involve themselves in things that they feel like will yield some sort of result that can actually give back to what it is that they're putting in. So they want to see that return on investment when they invest in the kids like that. And so when we talk about the level of global exposure that comes with being a part of triathlons and aquathlons, tell us a bit about some of the avenues for exposure outside of Trinidad and Tobago that students can, have the privilege to be a part of if they get involved with it.
In the space of triathlon, plenty is a lot. First to begin, triathlon has something you call development cups. A development cup is one event that you go to that you don't only go to participate in a race. You go to actually do, it's like a workshop that you go and you do, and at the end of the workshop, they keep a race. So in December, I spent 4 weeks in Uruguay for a workshop. So we got to see the both sides of the country. And what I would say is, sometimes we here in Tobago and we would say nothing ain't going on, but that is really not the truth. Because the only difference that these bigger continents have than us is the space. Our space is smaller, but we just need to, take care of what we have. We're doing a pretty good job here, and we just need to focus. However, triathlon is now a Olympic sport. So this means a lot. It's just taking part in the national events, taking part, following a pathway onto such, And once you follow that pathway, you will reach where you need to go, that destination.
Right. And tell us a bit about what is happening in the schools and how can parents get involved in that at this moment. I see that there's the aquathlon that's starting, school series that's starting very soon. Tell us a bit about that.
So this school series aquathlon is the third that we have in. What we try to do is we try to align it with the school series in Trinidad so that those who qualify in Tobago here could go to Trinidad and take part. So this is the third one we have in. This is on March the 1st at the Black Rock at YMCA pool. After this aquathlon, we have a duathlon, and after the duathlon, we'll be hosting a whole triathlon. All these events will happen right in Black Rock. We use the pool because it's a more controlled space, and it will be better for the kids and, you know, viewer friendly.
Right, and so you have both the primary and secondary school students. Tell us a bit about that. I see that there's from age 12 and over, you have 10 to 11, 8 to 9, and 7 and under.
So why are school series? Because this sport is not a sport like football. The school series where you have school children alone, it encourages children to come. Here you don't need no special bike, you don't need no, if you fit to run barefoot, you can run barefoot. Just bring what you have once you go into school, and you can be involved from not first year, from second year right up to Form 6. Collect a medal, you know, the exposure. And you really want to encourage kids in this day and age to come out of the house and come out from behind the screen. Eh? You want to get them out there. So other than the competition, it's just about, you know, getting them out.
Understood. And tell us a bit about the support that you've been getting from the schools and from the Division of Sport thus far in really trying to expand the reach of the sport and raising awareness on the island.
What I would say is I have never been to a school and got turned down. Every school I've been to open us with open arms. They accommodated us. They squeezed us in. I have to give hats off to all the schools. In terms of Division of Sports, I got help. Yes, I am thankful for the help I got. For the 5 times I held it, I got help twice. And you know, at the end of the day, I am not the only sporting club in Tobago. So it's about sharing, so I can understand that. But help, we are always grateful for it. And I would always encourage corporate Tobago to come on board and help clubs. Even if it's not me, there are plenty sports clubs in Tobago. You know, come on board and help them. Sports will help curb crime in Trinidad and Tobago.
Excellent. And, you know, just tell us a bit about the March 21st National Triathlon again that's happening on the island. Where will this be taking place, and can persons still register for it?
So the event on March 21st, as if I rightfully said, it will be held in Buku, the beautiful village of Buku. We start with a sprint event. The swim would be right in the Buku waters at the Buku Beach facility. We ride from Buku to Mount Irvin and back for the sprint event. You make 4 laps, and then the 5K would be right in Buku again from the car park facilities into Coral Garden and back. For the super sprint, it's just half of that, half of the distance. Swim would be the same place, the ride would be the same distance, half the distance, sorry, less laps, and the run would be same in Buku into Coral Garden and back. And we have a race for the children, you know, to encourage them again.
Right. And when we talk about corporate Trinidad and Tobago, you indicated that it's important for the private sector to play a role in helping to build out or, you know, just expand the reach and awareness of this particular area of sport that combines running, swimming, and cycling. How can persons get into contact with you to help support the movement and the work that's being done?
Well, we are on Facebook, Above Average Fitness on Facebook, or you can contact me at 499-7275. The number is on the flyer. Also, you could contact me on my Facebook page, NDBC Hall. You could also, there's also the link to register for the race. I completely missed that. The link to register for the race is on Facebook and on Instagram. And again, just reach out. We grateful for anything as much as a hamper person's grateful for that. The cameramen, it's just about sharing the love and encouraging sports fall and encouraging growth and togetherness in this space.
Excellent. Well, we're going to take a quick break right here and we'll be back talking much more about sport after this. See you soon.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been in studio chatting with Mr. NDBC Hall, who is one of the coaches, I guess, at the Above Average Fitness Club. And you have also been working with Sport TT as one of the directors. And I saw recently that you met with the Secretary for Sport, Keegan Denoon. Tell us a bit about moving forward and collaborations with the Tobago House of Assembly, not just for aquathlons and triathlons, but for all areas of sport on the island. And what is the plan moving forward to collaborate to see sport move forward?
Well, I say that came to mind the other day was knowledge carries the responsibility to do better, and the more we know, I believe, is the more we need to share. We collaboration is always needed in our space, Trinidad and Tobago, and the persons we having the power to do such, we need to do such, and I believe right now we at a good place. We have young minds, we have fresh minds, and persons willing to work. It's a new start, and persons willing to work. I believe a lot can be done and a lot will be done, and I take nothing for granted when it comes to sport, because I know the power that sports has and the things that it can do. What I would say is that based on the conversations with Mr. Dinoon and based on the conversations obviously with the minister as well, their minds are at the right place and they want the best for sports. They put in sports first, and sports for all is adamant for both of them. I stand in a position to help them. I stand in a position also to always put Tobago on that table when it comes to sports, because again, I say again, sports could and will be the tool to make a change in our country.
Understood. And just touching a bit on sports as it pertains to special needs kids and having that level of inclusion, where are we in that conversation, if that conversation has been on the table?
Well, that conversation is something that if it's left out of the conversation at any time, I would include it, but thus far it has never been left out of the table, because the para-athletic group is one that is always at the forefront, because they also do things for themselves, and as a group of persons I will always hold at my heart because I grew up with a aunt that was mentally ill. So I understood firsthand that these persons, nothing is wrong with them physically. They just have, that special need. And once they get the love and the push and the encouragement, things would happen in terms of them. And again, we have one of the greatest paralytic athletes here coming out of Tobago, Mr. Hakeem Stewart. Commendations to him. He continues to put us on the forefront and do good for us.
Right. And so what are the conversations surrounding expanding that particular area on the island of Tobago?
Paralytic?
Yeah.
What I would say is I don't know as deep as how they want to go, but for where they are now, they are talks into expanding it and encouraging those who don't know about it to get involved, because sports is a space where sometimes we just look at the competition side and the award side and we need money for this, but the reality is in sports you need volunteers, and volunteering is something that has totally gone out the window in Trinidad and Tobago. If you can't get something, I can't come out and help. Now, what I would say is in terms of our club in Buku and the persons in that space, I don't always have that problem, because persons would be coming out for a morning walk on the day of the event and they would just stop and help. Persons would ask like days before, it's still going on, and they will come out and help. So I cannot say I have a volunteering problem in terms of the triathlon, because persons would, even parents who just come in to support the child, will jump on board and help. But it's something that we have to look into. We have to find. I don't know why we need to motivate persons to do something like that, but we have to find a way to do it, because we need to start to do things just from the bottom of our heart again in the country.
Right. And, even as you were touching a bit on the paralytics,
yeah,
right? Is it that we want to move to a place where there are special clubs for individuals with special needs that cater to those needs, or are we moving to a place where we want to train existing coaches on how to integrate these persons within the existing clubs?
What I think should be done, based on your question, we should train coaches, and from training the coaches, we should teach them how to, what I'm looking for, to organize structure the club properly, because the paralytic athletes are not like the normal athletes, as we know. So structure is very important when it comes to them. So once the coaches have all that they need, the certifications, and they actually using it with good structure behind it, we could get a lot out of it, because we naturally have good athletes here in Tobago. It naturally. So structure and the proper training for the coaches, we'll get the best.
All right. Excellent. Well, we want to thank you so much for being here this morning. I want to remind Tobagonians that National Triathlon is happening here on the island on March the 21st, 2026, and that's happening at the Buku Integrated Facility. And there's also the Aquathlon School Series. So how can persons, parents, or schools reach out to you to be a part of getting their kids involved in the aquathlon, which for you guys watching the aquathlon has to do with running and swimming.
Yeah, that's correct.
Right? And so how can persons get into contact with you?
So my number is 499-7275, as said on the flyer, and you can register on Facebook, on Instagram, Above Average Fitness, or InduBC Amani Michael Hall on our Facebook pages.
Excellent. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back with much more conversation after this. See you soon.
60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are
can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
passion start to rise. The energy fill the skies. I say thanks a favor to wake up and hear my neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power. We are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers. We are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. This morning, as we round up our discussions, I want to first say congratulations to Chevelle Williams, who secured the victory at the interdepartment competition last Thursday evening on behalf of the Division of Education, Skills and Innovation, as I so rightly predicted. So I want to say congratulations to you, right? And we also want to say congratulations and all the best to our Tobago Calypsonians that will be advancing to the final rounds of the National Calypso Monarch competition on Sunday the 15th in Skinner Park. And so we want to say congratulations and all the best to Mrs. Nicole Thomas Clark, who will be singing Sacrifice. Giselle Fraser, Gigi, No Village Can't. We spoke to her this morning on her advancing to the finals. And finally, Mrs. Roslyn Reed Hayes, who will be singing Calypso Calling Me. So again, we want to say all the best to you guys, and we are wishing you all the success come Sunday. We'll be here, we'll be watching on, and we'll definitely be cheering you on. And so as we wrap up our discussion this morning, we give you a clip from one of those performances during the semi-final round of the Calypso competition from Mrs. Roslyn Reed Hayes. And here you go, Calypso Calling Me. Have a great day.
Actually, I don't want to sing, but you keep calling me. I am convinced Calypso is a spirit. Cause when he hold me, he don't let me go. Packing up my head with all kind of lyrics. No matter how I try to tell Kaiso no. Many nights and days me and Kaiso battling. When I tell him I don't feel to sing, you would swear his husband and wife quarreling. Cause this art form, it never gives in. Cause when I try to walk away, he just calling me. Calypso calling me. I say you don't know my pain. Calypso calling me. No matter what I tell him no, he just calling me. Telling me to come back and try again. Well, I just outline all my disappointments. I say you don't know how much money I just spent. Oh yes, I tell him flat. Many times I don't make back that. But Kaiso refused to listen. And no matter what I say, Calypso just call him. It just gets overwhelming for true. Calypso calling. And when I tell Kaiso, why you calling me? Calypso said, I believe in you. Whoa. All in the night, Calypso calling me. Oh boy. Hey, boy. You see when the season approaching, that's the time the spirit takes over me, pushing me to get up and start something. Like it just working on my psyche. Don't care how I try, I can't shake the feeling. This powerful force compels me. And when I jump up and start writing, he's sending me hook lines and sweet melody. Don't care how I try to go, I just call it. Calypso calling. Calling my name. Calypso calling.